CM Punk has a two-word message for Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, and other female WWE superstars ahead of Money in the Bank. CM Punk is clearly excited about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Hours before the premium live event, he shared a two-word message for the superstars competing in the bout. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match will feature Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Giulia, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi. The bout is reportedly set to kickstart the PLE. On Instagram, Punk shared his excitement over the incredible lineup for this year's women's Money in the Bank ladder match with a two-word message, "Insane lineup," wrote Punk. Check out a screen grab of Punk's Instagram story below. All 6 women were in action on the latest edition of WWE SmackDown. Ripley, Vaquer, and Bliss got together to face Naomi, Perez, and Giulia. During the match's closing moments, the Glow turned her back on the prodigy, leaving her alone against the babyfaces, who picked up the big win, heading into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Meanwhile, CM Punk featured in the final men's Money in the Bank qualifying match on Monday Night Raw. He faced AJ Styles and El Grande Americano in a triple threat match, but failed to qualify. Americano secured the final spot in the men's MITB ladder match. Rhea Ripley gets brutally crushed during WWE Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley was crushed at WWE Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is underway, and the show kicked off with the women's ladder match. Stephanie Vaquer, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Giulia, Roxanne Perez, and Rhea Ripley all stepped into the ring for the right to win the briefcase. However, with so many superstars in the ring, things were bound to get chaotic. This was exactly the case for Rhea Ripley, as at one point during the match, she was brutally crushed. Looking to completely remove her as a threat, Giulia and Roxanne Perez tried to take out the Eradicator with the help of a ladder. The Beautiful Madness and the Prodigy, who previously worked together on Raw, managed to crush the former women's world champion by putting her in the middle of a ladder and then slamming said ladder shut. Mommy was then thrown outside the ring, which allowed the rest of the women an advantage, albeit briefly. Rhea Ripley was buried under ladders but managed to recover quickly. Unfortunately, despite being thrown out of the ring, Rhea Ripley's problems did not end there. Giulia and Roxanne Perez decided to follow up on the damage they had caused earlier by trying to make 100% sure the 28-year-old was out of action. They did this by burying her under a stack of ladders, with the hope she wouldn't be able to get out. However, luck was not on their side, as she quickly recovered and managed to get back in the ring, evening the odds once again. WWE SmackDown results. Rhea Ripley sends a chilling message to Tiffany Stratton ahead of Money in the Bank 2025. WWE SmackDown results. Rhea Ripley told the women's champion Tiffany Stratton that she misses the feeling of having gold around her waist. Mommy will compete in the Money in the Bank match 2025 tomorrow alongside 5 other women. WWE SmackDown results. Rhea Ripley is set to compete in the Money in the Bank match on June 7th, and this has created a great deal of buzz among fans. Ahead of the event, Mommy issued a chilling warning to the current women's champion Tiffany Stratton. The winner of the Money in the Bank match will get the opportunity to challenge the world champion or the women's champ for the gold anytime and anywhere. Rhea Ripley puts Tiffany Stratton on notice. Tiffany Stratton addressed the WWE Universe ahead of the Money in the Bank match and recalled how she became the it girl of the company after winning the contest last year. She said that everyone competing in the contest this time around just wants to be her. She was interrupted by Rhea, who said that she knows what it feels to be a champion and misses the feeling. In doing so, she hinted that she might cash in on Tiffy if she grabs the coveted briefcase on June 7th. Rhea Ripley's second reign as world champion ended on Raw in March when she lost to Io Sky after being distracted by Bianca Belair, who was ringside for the contest. Rhea Ripley warns champion on WWE SmackDown. Rhea Ripley got in the face of the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. On the final episode of WWE SmackDown before Money in the Bank, all 6 women competing in the Money in the Bank contract ladder match were on the show. The Money in the Bank briefcase is a coveted piece of hardware in WWE because whoever climbs the ladder to retain it during the MITB ladder match will earn a guaranteed title match against any champion in WWE at any time. There have been many memorable Money in the Bank cash-in moments where a champion was beaten down, and the MITB holder chose the right time to cash in and leave with the championship. In an interesting Money in the Bank stat, every woman who has held the briefcase has gone on to cash in and leave with a championship successfully. Tiffany Stratton knows what it takes to win Money in the Bank and cash in to become the WWE Women's Champion. Stratton was confident on SmackDown as she spoke about how she's going to be ready for whoever wins the briefcase and comes after her. That's when the former WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley interrupted. Ripley, who is arguably the most popular woman in WWE right now, got in Stratton's face and issued a warning of sorts for the champion. You know, Tiffy, I've never actually been a part of the Money in the Bank match before because the fact is, I never had to. So I don't know what it feels like to win that contract like you do. But I do know what it feels like to be a champion. And I miss that feeling. Rhea Ripley picks up huge victory on WWE SmackDown. There was a 6-woman tag team match on WWE SmackDown in Bakersfield as Rhea Ripley teamed up with Alexa Bliss and Stephanie Vaquer, taking on the trio of Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Giulia. All 6 women are in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was a tag team match where the heel team isolated Vaquer and Bliss for a few minutes until Ripley was able to get the tag. After Rhea Ripley got some offense going, Perez countered Ripley with an impressive tornado DDT. At that point, Perez wanted to tag out, but Naomi walked off the apron rather than tag into the match, so Perez was alone. Bliss punched Perez, Vaquer hit Eat Defeat on Perez, and Ripley hit Riptide on Perez for the pinfall win. WWE Money in the Bank takes place on Saturday, June 7th in Los Angeles with this lineup. Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Stephanie Vaquer to battle Naomi, Roxanne Perez and Giulia ahead of Money in the Bank. Prior to the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Stephanie Vaquer will temporarily align to take on Naomi, Roxanne Perez and Giulia in a 6-woman tag team match. Rhea Ripley competes in her first Money in the Bank ladder match, gets buried by multiple WWE stars. Rhea Ripley competed in her first Money in the Bank ladder match on the latest WWE Premium Live event. She was buried under multiple ladders during the bout. Mommy used Alexa Bliss to dropkick Naomi, who was holding a ladder. Giulia and Roxy attacked Ripley and Bliss, and Stephanie Vaquer wiped out the Beautiful Madness and the Prodigy with a springboard crossbody. Vaquer hit a double underhook lung blower, and Naomi spiked Rhea onto a ladder. Roxanne Perez hit the former Judgment Day member with a springboard moonsault onto a ladder. Perez and Giulia tossed a bunch of ladders onto Rhea Ripley, burying her in the process. The 2 former NXT stars then dropped Alexa Bliss onto the side of a ladder, and Rhea rose from the ashes and took out Giulia. Stephanie Vaquer hit Mommy with a devil's kiss on top of a ladder, and the Dark Angel nearly grabbed the briefcase, but Roxanne Perez stopped her. Alexa Bliss and Roxy performed a sunset flip on top of a ladder in stereo. In the end, Naomi pushed Bliss and Rhea off a ladder, climbed up, and retrieved the briefcase. This was Rhea Ripley's first ladder match in WWE, but she was unable to get the win. Ripley, Bliss and Vaquer vs. Naomi, Perez and Giulia. SmackDown highlights, June 6, 2025. Buddy Matthews sends a message for Rhea Ripley during WWE Money in the Bank 2025. Buddy Matthews has shown his support for his wife, Rhea Ripley, on social media. He posted a message while Ripley's match was ongoing at WWE Money in the Bank 2025. The Eradicator was part of a ladder match, which featured 6 women going head-to-head for the MITB briefcase. The bout promised a one-way ticket not only to a future title match but also to a potential world title win. In the past, every holder of the Women's Money in the Bank contract has gone on to win championship gold. On his latest Instagram story, Buddy Matthews shared a picture of his routine for the day. This included him going to the gym, having rehab seemingly for his ankle injury, swimming in his pool, and then watching Rhea Ripley potentially win at Money in the Bank. He also mentioned how he was going to watch UFC later tonight. A screenshot of his post can be seen below. Buddy Matthews injury update. At Grand Slam, Australia in February 2025, Matthews challenged Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. He put up an incredible fight, but eventually fell to the Rainmaker. A crucial moment that may have led to his downfall was when he sustained an ankle injury before the bell rang. He tweaked his ankle during his entrance, but was able to work through this and have a good match. Last month, he talked about his condition and mentioned how it was not a major injury. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful confirmed a few days ago that Matthews was away from AEW TV because he was still working on his recovery and rehabilitation. Before his absence, Buddy Matthews and Brody King, known as the Hounds of Hell, were on a great run. King has been able to hold his own in Matthews' absence and has cemented his place as a solid singles competitor.